Breaking news, footage of Jasmine on the assault bike has been released.
You want to play a little game?
Today we're back with another episode of the news. For the people that ask, my favourite grips, Bear Complex grips. I'm not sponsored by them. I just like how much they grip the bar. 2 fingers over 3 fingers. So she said. You can't say that. We're going to start off the news today with the CrossFit Games. The CrossFit Games have actually released, Dave Castro has released one event. We're now a week away from kickoff. One event, event 2, 30 ring muscle ups for time. That is the only thing we know so far about the CrossFit Games. I kind of like that he keeps it secret because then it really doesn't give the athletes a chance to prepare for what's going to happen. Although he has put out the photo of the bike, which I think is going to be a sprint triathlon at the start, but he also has put out some pictures now, just released over the last day or two, of the assault course. The assault course is back. I honestly didn't really like it last year, but this year it looks like it's going to be part of another event. I'm hoping it's event 1, so maybe like swim, bike, and then a run. And then after the obstacle course, it's 30 muscle ups for time to finish the kind of whole big thing off. I think that would be a good spectacle. Jason Carroll, Games athlete, had something to say about it. Yep, take the bike through the assault course. Are you really the fittest on earth if you can't do that? Do it on your hands. In other news, Matt Fraser is constantly saying hard work pays off.
I don't know what you heard about me, but if you can't get
and he's spending a lot of time at the lake, apparently with Jay-Z.
the dollar out of me, no Cadillac, no perms you can't see.
Oh god, this news is terrible. But this year, honestly, hard work pays off. I think he's untouchable. He's going to dominate for the 3rd year in a row. Sarah Sigmundsdottir has taken her bike all the way from Iceland to Madison, Wisconsin. She's getting training in on the bike. Pretty cool. They get given a bike. Apparently last year at the CrossFit Games, they all had to have the same size frame bike so that no one had an advantage, but it meant that the smaller people actually really struggled because the bike was too big, and then the big people found that the bike was a little bit too small.
Play a little game.
Cool little fact that somebody told me. It does level out the playing field though. Also last year, did any of you spot the llamas in one of the events at the CrossFit Games? CrossFit Trump is a great Instagram page. If you don't follow it, it's just a guy who's apparently 47 years old making memes.
What a lie.
You legend. Yeah, I love it.
Meme maker.
Meme maker.
What a great job role.
Yeah. What do you do for a job? I make memes.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Give me more nanas.
Also, CrossFit Games have done a sneak peek of Team Event 1, and it's a 4-person barbell. So one hell of a barbell.
Do they have those specially made?
They must have them specially made. I don't know why. Can you imagine going into a Globo gym and being like, yeah, me and my mate's just going to go do a couple of deadlifts. Custom made. Can you imagine putting Eddie Hall, Thor, The Mountain, Brian Shaw and Matt Fraser on that barbell? Animals. Can't imagine how much weight would be lifted. What are you lifting today? All of it. And here's something. Put down below if you think this is going to happen or not. I believe this year in the CrossFit Games, they're going to bring out triple unders. Sarah Sigmundsdottir has been practicing. She got like 36 in a row. And then that got reposted by the CrossFit Games. I feel sorry for the judges. In kind of separate news to the CrossFit Games, in weightlifting news, a person called Tashoni Jibwoa, 16-year-old from the 75 kg category in Uzbekistan, who won the Asian Youth Championships at the World Junior Championships. She did a clean and jerk of 116 kilos, and look at this pull. It's not slowed down. Arguably the weirdest pull I've ever seen in my life. CrossFit are talking about weightlifting. Come on, slow us down, Jez. Back to the CrossFit news. Royce Dunne, who is part of this team, Team Richie, is currently in Cookville with Rich Froning as he prepares for the CrossFit Games.
May not be fast. What's up, little boy? So happy. Dada. Yeah.
You cannot prepare for the CrossFit Games in any other freaking epic way than with the GOAT. Also, Tia's there. He seems to be having a good time. Also, speaking of the team in the CrossFit Games, Ehea Schuerch, another one of Team Richie going to the CrossFit Games. Two people that I'm really rooting for at the CrossFit Games. Looks like her training is going well for the CrossFit Games, as well as holding down a full-time job. Recently, she was at the Comp Train camp, training alongside Davidsdottir, Brooke Wells, just to name a few. Killing it. And then a couple of things to finish off today's news. One, if you haven't seen any of Brent Fikowski's All In series, they will all be linked down below. Episode 3 has just come out. Great watch. All 3 episodes added together is over an hour right now. You're treating us, CrossFit. And we've had a response, the Barbell Shrugged podcast, we've had the response from Emily Abbott looking at why and how she got caught and the reasons behind it, which I'm going to cover in a separate video in a couple of days' time. Also, we've had a response from Rachel Campbell, who finished 34th in the South Regional, as to why she tested positive for Anavar. That is also going to be covered in a future video because the 2 responses. Also, speaking of people not going to the CrossFit Games, this is another bit of news. The 3 Russians that finished in the top 10 in the Central Europe Regionals, none of them will be going to the CrossFit Games, and 2 of them finished in the top 5. One of them has been banned for drugs. That was Andrei Ganin. But Roman Krinikov, who finished 1st overall, really solid performance. He applied for his visa twice, and it got rejected by the US of A, so he cannot travel to the CrossFit Games and hence cannot participate. Nightmare. I was actually pretty excited to see how he would fare out there because he did do so well at regionals. And also, to finish off, if you are going to the CrossFit Games, myself and Jasmine are both going to.
Come and say hi.
Come say hey. There is a digital guide out right now that you can download from CrossFit to know exactly where in the venue everything is going to be. We'll announce, hopefully closer to the time, where we will be, and we can do a huge meetup and go crazy and get a cool photo and just, yeah, have good. And you from a box in Wisconsin, please do hit us up on Instagram. We will happily come and train with you. And Chicago.
And New York.
These are the dates where we are going to be and at what time. And if you guys want to give us a tour guide or be a tour guide or just allow us to come and train in your box, that would be absolutely epic.
And if you're not going to be at the games, hopefully
we will
be able
do
to show
a
you some
good
epic
job of covering it. Yes.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you for tuning in on today's news. Here's Jazz on her bike one more time. Just another day in the Team Richie news office.
Yes.
I need some newspapers. No newspapers. But there are some pug raps. Pug life. Da, 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 da.